Alright, hey everyone. So today I'm just going to be ranting on The Walking Dead because after watching Daryl Dixon Season 2 Episode 1, I just had to come out and say something. So The Walking Dead has been on a steady decline for a while now, and it's managed to stay on a steady low in my opinion. So after watching The Ones Who Live, I have to say that was AMC's last chance to really make something of The Walking Dead universe, and honestly they just soiled it. Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed The Ones Who Live very much, especially the first episode, with it being one of the best episodes in all The Walking Dead history. Just the way it's shot, acted, written, wow man. That episode left on a very high note. Sadly though, it was just all downhill from there. I really lost faith in the creatives over at AMC. I honestly thought about finally dropping The Walking Dead entirely, but then I decided I couldn't give up on Daryl Dixon Season 2 just being around the corner, and I really enjoyed Season 1. It wasn't anything mind-blowing, but I saw the potential in there, so here I thought, okay fine, I'll stick around to see what's going on. And I have to say, after that week premiere, I am still wondering why I'm wasting my time with this. That's why I feel like I must come out and just speak my mind about this, because I'm genuinely baffled and wondering why I'm still watching new Walking Dead content. Okay, so first, I want to get all my nitpicks of Daryl Dixon Season 2 Episode 1 out of the way. First, I'm just going to come out and say, I do not care about any of the new characters. They're cliche, boring, and they take up so much time it's not even funny. The reason that they made Daryl stay back and Mrs. Ride home is so dumb. It's so dumb. So you're telling me Daryl missed, let's say, his only ride home just to stay behind and stay with characters that I personally do not care about at all, only for him in the next episode to come out and say, hey, when can I get another ride again? Are you kidding me? They really did that. Just so the writers can have a lazy way of keeping him in France and stretching this already milked property out. It is so dumb. And then with Ash, what a huge waste of time. We already know this guy is not going to last long in the show, so why do we waste a whole freaking episode trying to care about him? I already see where they're going. It's so obvious. With Ash, it seems like the writers tried to make a cheap copy of Bill from The Last of Us, except Bill was actually an entertaining and better written character. Like seriously, I think someone watched The Last of Us or played The Last of Us and thought, hey, that would be a cool character to put in the show, but except they weren't talented enough to actually make him as good as Bill. And also, I have a gripe with the sneak peeks and trailers. As much as I love to see content put out, and I love to get hyped for a show or movie, they reveal so much to where there's really no stakes in the show anymore, because you already know what's going to happen. They reveal so much. And also, I have a gripe with the main villain. First of all, it's stupid that she even goes with the henchman on this prison transfer. She is the main villain. She should not be doing this kind of work. She should be like sitting in her office on top. She's the one pulling the strings, not the one, that has to do the dirty work. It is so stupid for her to be put in that situation. And then it's even stupider how she got out of that situation when she disappears like she's Batman. She is not Batman. The writers cannot make a cool villain to save their life. She is not a cool villain. But she just disappears like a ninja. Daryl looks around like an idiot, and instead of taking 5 steps forward and looking around, he decides, it'll be fine. I'll just leave her. Even though she's the big bad of the show. Do the writers think that the audience is stupid or something? How do they get away with this? Honestly, I feel like they let CW writers onto the show and then have their way with it, because that is such a CW thing to happen. That genuinely pissed me off. Okay, then back to Ash. So he's been living at this house for many, who knows how many years. And as soon as Carol shows up, everything goes wrong. How has this dude survived for this long? It's crazy to me. And just the fact that Ash is this new character that gets introduced and he conveniently has a plane to fly. Like that is super convenient. This episode has so many plot conveniences that it makes me wonder if the writing for the rest of the season is going to be this bad. This goes for all future Walking Dead AMC content. If you want your audience to stay, give them a reason to. If you're going to milk the crap out of this property, then give me a reason to stay. Because if the rest of the stories from here on out are just going to be poorly written, dragged out plots with no satisfying conclusions, then I will stop watching. I will. Don't write your episodes like you think the audience is dumb. We're not dumb. And that's why less and less people are watching. I don't want that to happen. I love the show and these characters and the universe. I want to see them go out with a bang, not on a whimpering fart. I want them to go on a high note, okay? I mean, maybe it's too late for that, but I think if they play their cards right and get creative and talented writers, then the story can actually go somewhere that's actually new and exciting. But with this latest episode, honestly, I'm not seeing a bright future for The Walking Dead. And really, I hate to talk bad about The Walking Dead because I have been such a huge fan for a long time. But when you see something you love turn to crap, you just have to say something. So with those gripes out of the way, I'll get into some positives for the episode. I just want to say it's great to have Carol back. Honestly, they do such a great job showing how smart and ruthless she is at the beginning of the episode with her first scenes. I did like the way the Sophia scene was shot. It was nice. Although I think with stronger writing, I would have actually felt a bit more emotion with those scenes. But all in all, not too bad. And also that shot towards the end when Carol's about to take off and you see the walkers coming into the forest, that was a cool shot. But all in all, that's about it as far as positives I have for this episode. Really, I don't have a lot. Really, this episode was such a snooze fest with not much happening. They spent the whole episode trying to get us to care about Ash, and I know he's gonna die. Like, we all know he's gonna die. Let's not sit here and pretend that he's gonna be a mainstay character of the Walking Dead universe. Dude's gonna be dead. He's only a plot device to get Carol from America to France. Okay, he's not a long-standing character. He's just gonna be used. And that gets me to something else I want to say. A little bit of fan fiction here, I guess. If I were to write it, I think it would have been way more interesting if Carol followed in Daryl's footsteps in terms of how Daryl got to France. I think it would have been so cool to see Carol, go to the mechanic shop, let herself get captured, put on a boat to France, and then that's where we can see, the parallels between Daryl and Carol when they're put in the same situations, how they would get out of it. And also, I think they'll put some actual stakes in the episode, make us worry about Carol, because that putting yourself in that dangerous situation would be really interesting to see. And also, that would answer questions like, where was Daryl going? If they had Carol put on this boat and then let us actually see the destination, that would answer questions and just make the show and the universe so much more interesting. But instead, they had us sit with this discount Bill on his little farm the whole episode doing nothing just to have him fly her over. And also, that would have made the mechanic shop a way more interesting place rather than just a throwaway little area in the Walking Dead universe. It would have actually had them connected to the French, which would open up possibilities like, okay, there's this whole human walker trafficking ring going on around. How many of these little places do they have set up around America to ship walkers and people? But no, the mechanic people go, oh, that's the first boat we've seen in years. And also, what a coincidence that a French boat happened to come around in a very long time, around the same time that Daryl happens to stumble across this mechanic shop, just so they can kidnap him and take him all the way to France. Like, what if Daryl had shown up to that mechanic place a month later? then he wouldn't have gotten sent to France at all. But the writers just had to put it where, oh, the French people don't come around very often. Like, why? That would have made them so much cooler. Like, whoa, these people got connections. But no, it's just another place that's just a wasted set, never to be seen again, and it's honestly wasted world building. And one last thing about the episode, I was a bit shocked, to be honest. Truth be told, I was shocked that Carol would lie about her daughter in order to trick this guy into giving her a free airplane ride. Because the whole Sophia thing, as shown in the flashback in the same episode, that is probably the most traumatic moment in Carol's life. Sophia was probably the most important person to Carol. And honestly, I don't see her actually using her dead daughter as a way to manipulate someone. I think that they just took it too far. But then again, with these writers, I'm honestly not surprised that they would do something so stupid as to make Carol tarnish the memory of her dead daughter. Not surprised. So that's basically everything I have to say for the episode. I was honestly kind of surprised that I haven't heard much talk about this show. Most likely because the only fans left are the ones who just consume all things Walking Dead related. Because really the only comments that I've been seeing about this new episode are the ones who are mindlessly positive, have really nothing to say but I love this episode, I love Carol, I love Daryl. There are a few people who say that the stuff like the fact that this episode is mid, there are a few critics, but very few. I honestly think that's telling of the state The Walking Dead's audience, is that there's really not a lot of people left except the ones who are just consuming. Yeah, with the state The Walking Dead's in right now, I don't see what the end game is of the entire show, really. My theory was before The Ones Who Live came out, my theory was that the CRM was going to be the big one of the Walking Dead universe. That was going to be the end game for the Walking Dead universe. But then they managed to destroy all that in one episode, and that honestly blew my mind. If The Walking Dead's gonna have a real future, because it has to end at some point. As much as the writers and the people at AMC want this thing to last decades, it can't really. They're really stretching it out. The milk is running low. They can't milk this property any longer. My advice is to try to make the CRM the big bad again of this universe. I know there's a way to make them big and scary like they were meant to be. I know they can do it. Just have all the spin-offs come to a conclusion where it makes all of our characters come together to fight this be-all end-all of the Walking Dead universe. That would be a grand finale for the universe. But as far as I see it, it just seems like they're making 5 spin-offs and just seeing how they could drag individual plots for each of these characters and just keep it going. Really, they can't go on for long. But who knows? Maybe the creators at AMC have a plan and they're gonna end The Walking Dead on a high note and give the ending that the fans deserve. Because honestly, if you stuck around this long, you deserve a happy and great conclusion to this decade-long story that we've been following for probably for some of us like our whole life. Oh yeah, and one other thing. They only have 6 episodes in a season. In my opinion, using the 6 episode formula for a show is an incredibly terrible idea. So this show only has 6 episodes in it. So that means each episode needs to get a lot done. They have no time to be dragging their feet at all. And they can get a lot done in an episode without it feeling rushed. I've seen it. Go back and watch The Ones Who Live episode 1. That episode had a lot of work to do in terms of catching us up with what Rick has been doing for the past 6 to 7 years, what the community he's at is like, and also introduce new and interesting characters. And it still had time for the quiet, effective moments that let us spend some time with our main man, Rick Grimes. Anyways, that's all I had to say. Thank you for listening to me rant about The Walking Dead. I'm passionate about this franchise. I love it. I don't want it to go out with a whimpering fart. I want it to go out on a high note. And I really hope that the creatives at AMC get their head on straight and just give us the ending we deserve. Please, please. Just let us see all the characters again. Stop dragging it on. Stop keeping them separated. We just want to see Rick and Daryl reunite. Anyways, thanks for listening. Have a great day.